Before we start our session, I will give you a first assignment, which I hope you did this part and nail it before we start our session. Okay? This will make your life a lot easier when you train. The first assignment is all about engagement. Engagement is something that we ask the dog to give it to us before we can teach them or do any activity with them. Now, by asking for engagement, we actually will not do anything with the dog. We just gonna make sure we put the leash on the dog and we just wait. We will not call the dog, we will not do anything, we just going to wait for your dog to give us an eye contact, and then we're gonna mark that behavior with the word yes, and then we are going to reward them next to us. Okay, you're gonna see me take my step back and put my hands here for the reward. All of this is a concept that we're teaching the dog that if they want us to feed them, first they need to activating us. Okay? You can't teach the dog, you can't teach anybody, or I can't even teach you if you're not engaged with the lesson. With the dog, it's the same thing. We want them to learn to engage with us, for them to understand that we are quite important person in their point of view, because I'm the one who feeding you. If you don't engage with me, then you got no food for me, and you won't get fed that day. We will use this idea when we go outside. So rather than your dog pay attention to all the surrounding, we want them to pay attention to us. Now, I'm gonna demonstrating to you how we're doing it with Tiny. Yeah. The first thing, you need a dog, you need a leash. Yeah. And you're going to need their food. We're going to do this during our feeding time, which means you are no longer to put the bowl down for your dog. Your dog will only get fed through this system. Now, what I'm waiting for Tiny is for him to look at me and give me an eye contact. He walked towards me, doesn't mean that he engaged with me, so I'm just gonna wait. He pulled the leash, I'm not going with him, I'm just stand on my ground. Oh, I'm waiting for him to give me an eye contact. Yes! Boy! That's not food preparing, isn't it? Make sure you got access with your food very easily when your dog give you an eye contact. And then you can step out, you can walk somewhere else, but then you're gonna just hold the end of the line again until your dog give you the next eye contact. As you can see, the Tiny right now pay more attention to things. Yes! Pay more attention to things surrounding him than me, which is fine. There's no punishment in here. Yes! We want the dog to learn to give us this engagement. Once they're looking at us, then we will mark with yes, and then we take the step back and the food will come out next to you. Now with Tiny, it looks very easy and it doesn't look like it takes a lot of time, but with your dog that we never ever trained this before, it might be 5 minutes before he gives you an eye contact. Yes? Good job. So just take as long as it takes for your dog to figure this out. So you have to be very, very patient with it. But once the dog doing it and they get the food and they continue doing it for 3 or 4 times, they start to learn, oh, okay, this is how I get the food from you. So they will start to give you an eye contact more when you go outside or anywhere, because eye contact is very important. So just try it at home, and I hope you with all the success. It 100% work. Usually people say it doesn't work just because you don't have that much patience. Okay, so just be patient. It will take time, but it will work.